Welcome, Fright Night Vault listeners. Let me tell you about the Mercer family. No one moves into their forever home expecting it to shorten their lives. It was mid-August when they got the keys to 12 Ashpine Drive. 2-story colonial, wide wraparound porch, big yard for the kids. It was everything they'd dreamed of, tucked in a quiet cul-de-sac surrounded by woods. Mark and Rachel Mercer, mid-30s, 2 kids. Jamie was 10, loved drawing things she couldn't quite explain. Lucas, 6, obsessed with dinosaurs and hiding under furniture. They were ordinary, sweet, hopeful, like anyone signing a mortgage on their fresh start. The house was old, sure, built in 1968, but it had character, original hardwoods, brass doorknobs, a deep cellar. Rachel loved the smell of the place. Earthy, she said. Mark joked it smelled like secrets. They laughed, the kind of laugh you only get to do before things go wrong. The first night, they toasted with paper cups and slept on mattresses on the floor. No furniture yet, just echoes in empty rooms. Lucas said he didn't like the basement. Rachel kissed his forehead and told him basements aren't supposed to feel nice. They're just for storage. He nodded, but didn't smile. A week in, the noises started. Creaks, taps, shifting sounds. Normal stuff in an old house, except they only came from the cellar. Always between 2 and 3 a.m., and always when the house was silent. Rachel thought it might be raccoons. Mark said the ducks were probably old. Neither of them went down to check. Not at night. Jamie was the first to say something real. One morning, she slid her cereal bowl away and whispered, "Someone's living behind the walls." Mark blinked. "Where'd you hear that?" "I didn't," she said. "I heard him." She pointed at the baseboard heater by the hallway. "He breathes like this." And then she inhaled, slow, broken, like someone gasping through soaked lungs. They said she was imagining things. Kids are sensitive, especially in a new place. That night, Rachel heard something too. Not a creak, not a thump, a scrape, like long fingernails across the wall directly behind her headboard. She pressed her ear against the drywall. Nothing. But the next morning, a thin line of splintered paint stretched 3 feet across the wall. She didn't tell Mark. Not yet. 2 weeks after moving in, they finally opened the cellar. It had a heavy wooden door at the back of the kitchen, sealed with a strange rusted bolt. They hadn't touched it since they moved in, but Mark was ready to make the space a workshop. He twisted the bolt. It snapped with a crack. The door swung open without resistance. The air that came out was wet, cold, smelled like soil and rot. They laughed it off. Old basements always smell weird. The cellar was long, deeper than they expected. Only one light bulb. It flickered constantly. In the far right corner, behind a sheet of plastic, they found something odd. A wooden chair facing the wall. On the wall, symbols carved deep into the concrete. And all over the chair, scratch marks. Tiny ones, hundreds, like fingernails. Mark stared at it. Some kind of art? Rachel didn't answer. They didn't tell the kids. They just locked the cellar back up. The next night, the house breathed. Not groaned, not creaked, breathed. The windows fogged, the walls pulsed. Jamie woke up screaming, said someone was crouched at the foot of her bed. But it wasn't a person. Its back bent the wrong way. Its face was blurred. They let her sleep in their bed. But at 3:12 a.m., Rachel awoke to someone whispering from the hallway. She needs to go back. No one was there. Jamie was still asleep. The next morning, they found Lucas in the hallway closet. The door was locked from the inside. He was scratching at the floor with a butter knife. His fingernails were bloody. Mark asked him why. Lucas said, "He told me if I don't dig, Mommy disappears." That night, Mark stayed up, sat in the living room with a baseball bat. Nothing happened. until the TV turned on by itself. Black screen. No sound. Then a voice whispered, "You should have left the door shut." The cellar door was open. Mark swore he locked it, but it stood ajar, barely, like it had been watching him too. Rachel called a priest the next morning. He never showed. Instead, a letter arrived, handwritten, no return address. Inside was a single page. The chair was never meant to be moved. The scratching was a warning. Seal the mouth or it spreads. That night, Jamie was gone. They found her in the cellar, sitting in the chair, staring at the wall. She was humming something that didn't sound human. When Mark pulled her away, she screamed, not in fear, in rage. She scratched at him with her nails, eyes rolled back, mouth open wide, wider than it should have gone. They boarded the cellar shut. 2 days later, Mark saw his father in the mirror. His father had died 5 years ago. But there he was, smiling until his face split down the middle, and something else stepped through. That night, the house shifted. Rooms were different, doors opened to closets that hadn't existed. The air buzzed with static. Rachel swore she heard chewing in the walls. Lucas stopped speaking, just stared at the vent, whispering something under his breath over and over. "It's almost out. It's almost out. It's almost out." Rachel called her sister, begged her to take the kids. Her sister agreed. She never made it. Her car flipped 3 blocks from the house. The dash cam recorded it. She swerved for no reason. Then faintly, the audio picked up a voice, same one from the hallway. "She can't leave yet." That night, Mark disappeared. Rachel woke up alone in their bed. No note, just the faint sound of a chair rocking from below. She took the kids and ran. They made it 5 miles before the car died. Not a crash, not an accident, just dead. All 3 doors locked simultaneously. Then the headlights flickered on. A face appeared in the glass. Not a person, not even a shape, just hunger. Rachel screamed. When she woke up, she was back in the house, in the kitchen, alone. The kids were gone. The house was breathing again. She's still there. Neighbors say the lights flicker at night. Sometimes a child's drawing appears in the window, taped from the inside. Always the same image. A woman in a rocking chair, smiling, and something behind her. Blurry, bent, watching. If you ever drive past 12 Ashpine Drive, don't look too long. It might see you. And if you hear someone whisper, "She needs to go back," don't turn around. You're already part of it now. If you made it this far, you already know better than most. Like, comment, and share this story with someone who'd open that basement door. And if you're still here, you're one of us. Subscribe so you don't miss what crawls out next. Have a story of your own? Leave it in the comments. Some doors only open for those who've already been touched by the dark. And your story might be the next one we drag into the vault.